Welcome to Wide Angle Conversations Season 2, an initiative of Life by Design with Taruna Aggarwal, sponsored by Diamond Apple, a unique e-commerce concept to sell aspirational diamond jewelry and accessories. Visit diamondapples.com to create your own diamond story. Talking about stories, Wide Angle Conversations facilitate meaningful discussions with women who have created success. We unravel their stories, understand their strategies, and uncover the mantras that enable their success. My guest today is Lavinia Thanapathy. Lavinia is a champion of change and an advocate of gender equality. Welcome, Lavinia.
Hi, nice to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you on Wide Angle Conversations.
My pleasure. This is such an exciting experience.
Oh, thank you. Lavinia, you are doing a lot of different things, and all of it is centered around equality for women.
I think I decided some time ago that this was my calling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? I started off my professional career not as a lawyer, although I'm a lawyer by training. And as I was developing my new career, which was in branding and communications, I stumbled upon this organization, Primetime, when I was in Singapore. I'd moved from the UK, and I was struggling to set up a new network for myself. And so I found Primetime Professional and Business Women's Association, and I quickly became a board member. And as I worked with other women, I could see that this is an issue that needed more work, that we needed to do more to ensure that women had a voice at work and in policy. And this is where I started being interested in the cause around women. And I started to take on more and more leadership spaces around it. And so this was the very beginning of it.
And you know, you've been doing this for a while. The first time was, as you said, 2001. And then now this is your second term in Singapore, and you are continuing the same work.
Yeah.
So tell me, how over the times, how has the awareness and the conversations around this women empowerment changed in Singapore?
Yeah, so I think when we started, it was a very niche area. It was like a special interest, this tiny sliver of what people did. It was considered something quite special, and a few people did it. It wasn't a broad conversation. You couldn't have conversations in a business context or in a leadership context or in a creative context around gender and equality. It was really, this is a women's issue. And we might have a women's department that dealt with this kind of women's issue. I think what's happened, especially in the last 5 years, it's become a much broader issue. I think what's happened is there's a huge interest now in the value of diversity. And not just gender diversity, but also cultural diversity, and across the board, what different types of thinking can bring to the table. And increasingly, it is being seen as a business imperative.
In your opinion, what is the one point that needs a focus?
I think we need to deal with the problems that we have to face today. We need to deal with how we can release potential and what the role of policy is in all of this. We need to do it all. But when I chose to put a lot of effort into inspiring girls, it was because it was very clear to me the big differentiator with women is not competence. This has never been an issue. It's not that women are not competent. The issue with women is around confidence.
Right.
And the lowering of confidence starts very early. It can start as early as 8. There's some data out from the Girl Guides of the United States, which says that girls stop being as confident in their math abilities as early as 8.
As early as 8 years.
Why? Wow. There's no reason at 8 that they should feel any less. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, but it starts very, very early. And so one of the things Inspiring Girls does is it brings girls together with female role models. It's a very simple idea. Okay. We make sure that girls see that there are women doing these jobs. You know the saying, you can only be it if you can see it.
That's true.
And so what we want to do is get girls to see the possibilities that the possibilities of kind of work you can do is not limited in any way, shape, or form. And it can be in science, it can be in traditional industries where women have worked in teaching, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It is possible. And a lot of girls still don't have successful female role models in their real lives.
And I agree with you when you say, see, if you are to empower the young girls, change their mindset at an early point, we are effectively empowering the society.
Exactly. You could release into the world. It's like you have a secret weapon in women, and women are everywhere. We're half the population. We're not a minority. So we're and it's like you have this and you don't use it. You have the secret weapon that you're saving up for God knows what. You're just saving up the secret weapon. You should just release it into the world. And part of it is us stepping forward, which is why I wrote the book with other women, is that we wanted to help women unleash themselves. Part of it's we hold ourselves back, and the other part is society holds us back. It's cultural. It's in the nature of business policy. It's out there. There is some structural things. So we need to do both. We need to unleash for ourselves, and we need to make sure policies and business practices are in place that allow women to reach their full potential.
Right. And that is beginning to happen.
It's absolutely starting to happen. Yes.
Right. You are a motivational speaker. You are a sought-after keynote speaker. You are a branding expert. You are teaching public speaking to women, right? How do you do all of that? What is the secret of your success?
When I started speaking, the first talk I ever gave was called Embrace the Crazy. Embrace the Crazy is not about, and I don't mean crazy like a mental institution crazy.
Right.
I mean the things that life throws at you. Women's careers are almost never linear. Almost never ever linear. There are all kinds of twists and turns. And being able to deal with this, having a spirit and a thought process that's agile, that's able to deal with these things, allows you to embrace all kinds of crazy things that life will throw at you. Women are more affected when they have children. Women are more affected when families change. Women are more affected when families move. I myself have to move every 4 years. And I had a very stable job at a university.
Right.
And I gave that up because I know it cannot move with me. It is not something I can take and move somewhere else. So I had to create a different career. When you said I do a lot of things, I do it so that I can take it and fit it into another. When I move to a country that doesn't speak English as a first language or whatever it is, I can take what I do and fit it into another.
Right.
And this spirit of being able to see opportunity wherever it might exist, and not seeing just problems. And I'm afraid that's something I've noticed a lot of women do. They see the problem rather than the potential.
Right.
And just changing that way of thinking to see the potential rather than the problem. Because we're geared, we are the ones who have to deal with the problems when they come up. So we're always thinking, what's the problem? What is the problem? And if we just change that to where is the potential? How can I make this work? So when I move to a new country, I rarely see all the problems, the traffic, the whatever. There's so many problems.
You take it in the stride.
You take it in your stride. You just see
the lens that we wear.
Yes, absolutely.
It's focus on. So you focus on the opportunities that are coming your way, and leave the problems.
Yes.
But it is obviously not easy, right? When you are moving and constantly, it's probably whatever you have created, you have to give that up, or pass it on, hoping that the work, trusting that the work will go on. It is a challenge, but as you said beautifully, that you embrace this and you move forward. But what is the guiding principle that is allowing you to embrace all of this?
So for me, it's family. Family is my root. As you said, we have 5 children. We have a very blended family. Our oldest daughter is going to be 30 this year, to be honest.
Wow.
And our youngest is going to be 10 this year. Wow. And so we really have this huge family with a huge range. Our children live in Berlin, Glasgow, Chicago, Aberdeen, and Singapore.
So 5 children, 5 countries.
So they live all over the world, and we parent in a very particular way that allows all our children to be who they're going to be, and to hold them together. But having this very strong sense of family, of being a unit in ourselves, regardless of where we are in the world. It doesn't matter where we are. We are absolutely strong, and we are absolutely sure of who we are. And that's really the thing that I rely on the most. It helps to constantly create community. So someone said that was my gift. I can create community out of nothing. And it's true. I really love this. I love the idea of coming together with groups of people. And they're different groups. Women, when we focus on family, and family is absolutely crucial to me, we give up community. Often women give up because they want to spend so much time with their family. I'm willing to give up time with my family. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm always willing to give up time for my family if it's for community.
Okay.
And because community enriches me in a whole different way. If I'm not enriched, I can't enrich anyone. So I do take time for myself. I'm actually very selfish on that front. I always ensure there is time for me. In every single day, I make sure there's time for me. If there's no time for me, there's nothing for me to give. On airlines, they tell you, put your own oxygen mask on first. So for me, I don't have enough to give everybody in my life if I don't make sure I take some for myself.
Yeah, and obviously, as you said, you're not giving up on the family is the most important. That is the unit that makes us, and also for you, having that clarity and that guiding principle, it must be making it that much easier for you to move and give up on whatever you built, and then that you've created such a place, such a work that you can go and recreate it elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? It's so liberating. When you think it's okay, I can be the center of my own universe.
Right. So important.
It is. It's so important. And when we decided on the cover of the book, for instance, we put this woman in the center, and she's wearing a cape, and then she's radiating energy. And this is exactly what we wanted for women, to see themselves. You are the center. You are wearing the superhero cape. You are radiating out into the universe.
Wow. And
when you claim it for yourself, it is so powerful.
Yeah. And I can see the passion that you feel around it in the way you're saying it right now to me. Yeah. And I think, so you kind of created a professional as well, a personal aura for yourself. But most of the time what people see is the professional work that we do. But that definitely is not the defining aspect of us. There are many aspects to us. We do a lot of things. We follow a lot of dreams. So tell us, Lavinia, is there a secret avatar to Lavinia?
Oh yes. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see my secret life. My secret life on Instagram is when you always find me on my own name. I always do everything in my own name. But on Instagram, I'm a bit of the sari queen of Singapore. I have a following that people follow me only to see what saris I'm wearing, because I'm Indian. My heritage is Indian, but I'm from Singapore. My grandparents were even born here. My parents were born here. So we're several generations from here. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I discovered the beauty of saris, and I only wear handlooms and heritage saris, and so I started to collect them. And then because I have so many events to go to as a diplomat's wife, I go to so many events, I started to wear a sari automatically, because it was easier than trying to work out what to wear. So it was just easier, right? So I started to wear them, and then I started to take photographs, and I started to put it online. And so then I realized people were following me for that purpose. And so people followed me for saris, and then they wanted to know what lipstick I was wearing, because actually there's very little makeup that's suitable for Indian skin tones. So because I'm pretty good at it, and I do my own, and so I would share, what products were working for me, and other women would say, oh, what, where, how, And so I started to post. This is absolutely frivolous. My world on Instagram is frivolous. My children are shocked. I have a bigger following than any of them. So it's really hilarious. And so I started to discover I'm a bit of a micro-influencer. So if I wore a particular type of sari, the vendor of the sari would tell me, oh my God, I can't keep up, because we would have sold out of that. I think what I'm called now is a micro-influencer. So on a small scale, for small things, I can change. And I think it's wonderful, because most of these weaving cooperatives in India, they're run by women. Often it's women doing the fine, delicate work, and often the cooperatives are run by women. They're not big brands. They're often a collection of small weavers from a few, and they're often doing a few pieces a month at most. Yeah, right. And so it's been wonderful. So I love doing it.
So are you going to move in that direction? The corporate.
This is my joy. This is where I take my joy. I do all these frivolous fun things for fun.
Now I'm also going to follow you on Instagram for sure. And as you said, you are indeed an influencer. In many ways, and it was really inspiring, to be talking to you, and I wish you all the best for the future. And thank you so much, Lavinia, for enriching us and inspiring us with your beautiful story.
Thank you so much. I really had such a great time chatting with you, and this is absolutely my passion, as you can tell. You can't shut me up when I start talking about this. But thank you so much for having me here, and I hope you continue to have great success with the series.
Well, thank you so much.